The following broadcast is a presentation of iRacing Motorsport Simulations live on PTRTV. We'd like to thank all of our partners for their support.
He may get the run on the outside off of the back straightaway. 26 to Hallway trying to go three wide. No one's with him.
Talking and bobbing and weaving down the back straightaway, looking for a way around. The 5 machine trying to take a look underneath the 3 car. He's gonna dive in down to the bottom. A huge move down to the bottom of the racetrack.
Back bumper. Can anything happen through the tri-oval? Walker Thomas to the inside. Here he comes to the outside. Side by side through the tri-oval. The 14. It's going to be a photo finish to the line. Who's going to get it? Walker Thomas.
Machine coming out of turn number 4. Tiller looking to go 3 wide, almost 4 wide. He's going to try to look for a gap. Bobbing and weaving for the lead down through the tri-oval.
Photo finish.
2 by 2. The 65 gets the win. Hello and welcome, race fans, back to our second broadcast here with PTRTV on LSRTV. Down here, the Friends 200 from Charlotte Motor Speedway with the ASRS Twitchy Race Reports Premier Cup Series, and boy oh boy, some really fast times here on the board here tonight so far. But I'm Brandon Cruz. Joining me tonight is Corey Silva. Corey Silva doubling as our tech producer here tonight. And Joe Chris behind the scenes, our quality control specialist. And should be another good broadcast. Again, this is PTRTV on LSRTV.
Yeah, I heard you there have to kind of stutter a little bit, Brandon. It's still a little bit new for us, and I'm sure it's new for you guys here on the LSRTV community. But we are very proud to bring you what is a very large league here on the iRacing service, a league that will run 41 races over the course of the year. You'll probably catch a good 25 plus of them here on LSRTV via us on PTRTV, but qualifying is complete. The drivers' meeting is underway, so what we do have for times on the board is most likely going to be the running order. Scott Eckridge leading the way thus far.
Yep, some really fast times up on the board here so far. Top 3 are Scott Eckridge, Nick Cohen, and Troy Haight. Top time right now, a 28.760. And, that's a fast time here tonight. Scott Eckridge up on top of the charts with that time there.
Yeah, most certainly here at the ASRS Premier Cup Series at Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's going to be 200 miles, 134 laps of racing here at Charlotte. Just as a brief verbal rundown of the point standings, Jeff Ward, who has won 4 of the 8 races this season, out front by 20 points over Jared Bogart, who's second in the standings. Brian Yazik, Jordan Ashland, and Jason Stewart rounding out the top 5 in points, separated by 74. So we got to keep an eye out on Jeff Ward. He has been dominant in this series thus far, but as we look at the scoring sheet here to see where he's starting, he has not taken a queue time, so he is going to be at the back of the pack, so that will be an interesting charge.
Something to note real quick, drivers that have failed to qualify for the race here tonight include the number 5 of Scott Holler, the number 139 of Thomas Wagner, and the number 96 of Josh Gallagher.
Yep, it is a 36-car grid here for ASRS, and we had, I think, 43 attempt to make the grid, so a couple will be sent home, and they'll have to pack it up and try again next week. But for the time being, that is the end of qualifying, so let's bring to you the PTRTV on LSRTV starting lineup here from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. On the pole tonight with a lap time of 28.760, Scott Eckrich in the number 70 machine, so we offer him our congratulations on that lap. Nick Cohen starting in position number 2. Troy Haight in 3rd, Evan Black rolling off in P4, Ryan Hartz in 5th, Mark Emerson in 6th, and Jared Mogard 7th, and Nick Curlig at 8th. Brandon.
Starting in 9th is going to be Michael Krobek. 10th is going to be Woody Mahan. Steve Ritter starting 11th. 12th is going to be Tom Gianni. 13th is Alex Giese. Tyler Seville is starting 14th. 15th is going to be Ronnie Osmer. And starting 16th is going to be Tim Knockhort.
In the 17th position tonight, Sam Maxwell. 18th is Jordan Harnish. Then we have Andy Veltman and John Kennedy, 19th and 20th. Ty Hester in 21st, Jeremiah Vincent in 22nd, and then 23rd, Justin Rector, Steve Buhala, rolling off P24.
Starting in 25th is Jared Haggerty, 26th, Clarence Bonner. 27th is Stephen Trombley, 28th is Brandon Boyd. Chris Titus is starting 29th. Starting 30th is Jim Foose. 31st is going to be Jeff Gross. And Jordan Miller starting 32nd.
All right, rounding out the field tonight, Scott Holler, Jeff Ward, Brian Yazik, and Jordan Ashland. A couple drivers at the end here, Jason Stewart, Nick Kaufman, Josh Gallard, Thomas Wagner. As Brandon said, a few of those drivers will not make the show. I don't quite remember off the top of my head, so apologies for that. But here we are at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The weather conditions these drivers will be enduring here tonight. 79 degrees in the air, 79 degrees on the track, about a 6-mile-an-hour wind from the northwest, so nothing that should cause too much of issue, but worth noting here. So again, 200 miles, 134 laps here. Welcome everybody to LSRTV. Welcome everyone to PTRTV on LSRTV's second broadcast after our channel mergers. So you'll be catching these guys every Tuesday night here on the channel. They will race in the Cup Series here about every other week, and then when they are not racing in the Cup car, they are racing in the Truck Series in their Sam Maxwell Customs ASRS Truck Series. So always action on Tuesday nights.
Yeah, absolutely, and, well, should get good here tonight. The Fred's 200 from Charlotte Motor Speedway, the Twitchy Race Reports Premier Cup Series with the American Sim Racing Series, and Scott Eckrich going to lead the field to the green here tonight. Should be a good show. Field stacked up, doubled up, ready to go. Green flag racing here. Nick Kahan to his outside.
Yep, so the front row, as you said, Scott Eckrich, Nick Cohen in second, Troy Haight and Evan Black third and fourth. We will see which line does prevail. The leader does not get lane choice, so every single start the leader will be right around the inside of the speedway. He will have discretion to go when he does choose when that pace car pulls into pit lane. He does do that. We are waiting for him to get on the loud pedal. The 70 machine is on the loud pedal. We're racing at Charlotte.
Good jump by the 70 machine there right on that start. Manages to clear second place of Nick Cohen. Now heading down, battle for third place is on Evan Black. That 99 machine around the outside. Now gonna be able to take that third position. That leaves the 28 car up on the bottom line, trying to defend.
Yeah, Troy Hayden, that number 28 machine, he is the one that has to do that battling on the inside of the speedway. It is going to be a lot harder down there. It's not as easy to keep that momentum wound up. He'll do the best he can with the number 22 of Mark Emerson to his outside.
Mark Emerson's been very fast the last few weeks here in the Cup Series, so it'll be interesting to see what he can do. He's got the 59 machine right on his back bumper. That's Ryan Hartz coming to take that position away from him side by side.
Ryan Hartz, a very quick driver. We see him in a lot of PTRTV broadcasts at the front of the field. He's had a very competitive season in the American Sim Racing Series, so not a surprise to see that 59 machine. He will try to make that inside work, diving it to the inside corner number 1, still side by side.
He got a little bit sideways there on corner entry and kind of correct himself, let off the throttle. He's still going to hold side by side. Had to give up that run, though. Those guys looking like maybe they'll gain on Evan Black just a little bit at a time here, but them racing like that, they're not going to get anywhere, and they really got to watch this tire wear.
Yes, they will. That is a very important fact to bring up, Brandon, as we take a look up front where Eckrich does have about a 2-car length lead over second place of Nick Cohen. Tire wear is going to be huge. A lot of these drivers have run the Coke 600. Remember, the Majors Series ran the Coke 600 right here on LSRTV. Tire wear was a big factor in that, so if this does go green, those patient drivers are going to have their time come at the end of the run.
Heading down out of turn number 4 now, heading down through the Charlotte quad oval here. 22 still on the outside, 59 Hartz on that inside lane. And man, those guys racing very, very close to one another. It looks like they're trying to take slightly different entries into the corner. Now Hart's going to clear Emerson down off of turn number 2, but almost making contact almost every single lap heading down into turn 1.
Yeah, it is just very tight confines racing entering corner number 1 here at Charlotte. It is very hard when you're getting pinched from the guy on the top to make that bottom work without drifting up. So it does cause some really close calls, some very interesting situations.
Saw some sparks coming up from Evan Black's machine. I believe he may have gotten into the wall just a little bit on corner entry down going into turn number 1. Don't see any damage.
Yeah, right now the 72, Michael Krobik didn't make a pass on Troy Haight. Troy Haight is on his way back through the field, not the direction he wants to get this race started off on, but still in the 5th position we have Ryan Hartz. He is battling, and it looks like he did lose the position of the number 22 machine, but here comes Jared Mogard, another quick driver in this league, trying to get in this battle as well. Right behind him, into the fence, Ryan Hartz, big crash. Ryan Hartz brings up the first caution. And, oh, these guys, it's not over. These guys are going to have to split him down the back straightaway there. Oh no!
The 76 and the 7 get involved as Hartz tries to turn around.
That's Jason Stewart and Jordan Miller. Jordan Miller immediately backs out because of that, what should be terminal impact. That was just not what anybody wanted to see here. He must have thought that he had a clear shot to get that car corrected, but clearly not the case for Hartz. So I can see here
trying to get turned around.
We're on board with Hartz here as he exits corner number 2 and just gets into the fence. That turns him to the inside wall. Hard impact throws him back onto the middle of the back straightaway, and you can see here everyone's trying to split the difference. Some guys go to the top, most guys go to the bottom, and the 76 he committed to the inside, and
I guess Hartz just didn't see those two guys coming into the inside, and you could see him stop there, not really realizing what had happened, and I think that'll end his chances of being competitive here tonight.
But we are on lap number 9, and we already see a bunch of pit stops. The majority of the drivers in the lead group have already come to pit lane, getting these 4 fresh tires. We know how valuable they are. Well, of course, we assume 4 tires. Wouldn't be surprised this early in the run. Maybe a couple 2-tire calls in there.
Steve Ritter staying out on the racetrack right now. It'll be interesting to see what happens there. I'm probably just going to stay up to lead this lap.
Yeah, we do see that quite a bit here in the American Sim Racing Series, as we do in a lot of different series, where when you have a long season, you know every single point could be valuable, especially when there's playoffs on the line. So every point will be valuable. This bonus point could come into play at some point in the season for Ritter, so we will see if he does choose to stay on the speedway, or as if we expect he will come down to pit road and hit those 4 fresh tires.
So, looks like 16 machine Steve Ritter coming down into pit road this time. So, stayed out to lead that lap, get some extra points there. And we'll cycle the lead back to Scott Eckridge.
Just some points here for the LSRTV community who maybe not know the American Sim Racing Series from our channel, PTRTV. They are a fixed setup league, so identical chassis behind every single one of these machines, so it is entirely up to the driver on how quick that machine does drive around the speedway. Full fuel loads, and one thing worth noting, there is a 13 incident limit. As we know on the iRacing service, you go off track, make contact with the wall, contact with another driver, you will have an incident point marked against you. If you accumulate 13 of those, you will be sent to the hauler. And we have seen that come into play quite a bit, at least on the smaller tracks, not so much on these larger speedways, but with the tight racing here at Charlotte, these guys will have to be careful because those could count up pretty quickly.
Absolutely, Corey, something that these guys are going to have to watch out for indeed. And, well, it should be interesting, anyways, to see what type of racing these guys will put on for us. I mean, you know, we've seen some really close battles already, both lanes seeming to work at the beginning of this race, but, you know, as the track progresses, as more rubber starts to lay down, you know, as more heat gets put into the track, it'll be really interesting to see where these guys will end up going.
I expect just a full plethora of driving lines. I expect people to be right around the bottom. I do think the bottom is where you're going to want to stay to make these passes. A lot of times the top may be actually faster, but you put more load on those right side tires. So in many cases, even though it may be the faster line, you can actually wear the tires out more running the top groove. So I do think the guys who slow roll the bottom are able to keep it right around that white line. I think they may not prevail on the beginning end of the run, but I think they may be the ones to watch out for if we do go green for a substantial amount of time.
These guys stacked up, doubled up, ready to go back green flag racing. Something that was pointed out to us, Corey. Mitchell Brown not in the field tonight either.
Yeah, Mitch Brown is a very competitive driver in the league as well. He's 13th in points, 2 top 5s, 4 top 10s in the season. So assuming he will be able to take some form of provisional, but we will see what happens with that later in the season. But we have a restart. Brandon, take it away.
Scott Eckridge leading the field back to the green again. iRacing official pace car pulls down into pit lane. Eckridge is on the throttle. Green flag is back in the air.
And he does have the jump that he needs, but the 57 of Cohan got a very good jump to the outside, is able to get right back behind him, not letting that 70 sneak away, as is Evan Black, top 3 under a blanket here, and double file beyond that.
Evan Black right onto the back bump of that 57 machine now, heading down into turn number 3, top 3 under a blanket, as Corey said. Now heading down through turn number 4, now out of turn number 4, Scott Eckridge still holds the lead with 57 right on his back bumper, and Evan Black with the bobble out of 4.
Yeah, Black will most likely give up the position here unless he can dig it on the outside. Mark Emerson right on the bottom does wash up the track just a little bit. Jared Mogard right behind this, deciding which line he wants to follow. Looks like he will go with Black in the 99 up top, try to get the 22 stuck on the inside into the inside train and fall into the back. But here comes the 22 right to the white line. Can he clear the 00 off of 4? I think Mogard's going to have a run, stay side by side.
Yeah, side by side, still heading down the quad oval here now into turn number 1. Almost a little bit of contact between those two drivers. Emerson washes up the racetrack right in front of Mogard there. That could have been absolutely disastrous. Mogard tries to pull the crossover here down the back straightaway. He'll get next to the 22 machine once again.
And here comes the 22 of Emerson. He is running up top right now, running the middle, cuts to the inside for a nice straight corner exit. But right behind the 00 of Mogard is Michael Krobik in the 72. He's going to try to look to the outside. That is the move you want to make, get to the outside in turn 1. Doesn't quite have it. You can see him running all the way up in the Larson line there, about a couple inches off the wall, trying to get that momentum down the back straightaway. Into the fence. Couple drivers there off corner number 2.
Man, oh man, those guys flirting with that outside wall, and it's going to be like that all night, Corey, and something that those guys going to have to watch out for. Crashing in turn number 3, caution flag on the speedway.
Steve Ritter, the 16, the 43 machine sideways. see what happened here on our instant replay. That's Steve Buhala in the number 43 machine. We'll go back on the replay and try to figure out what happened to these guys.
See Jim Foose involved in that 42 machine. It looked like one of the first cars to go around. Him and the 41 machine.
Whoa, Foose all the way to the apron there. We got to go back a couple more seconds, see what happened. He's battling with Tim Knott. He got into the left rear of Tim Knott there, both all the way in the grass. And when they come onto the speedway, there are some fast-moving drivers. I think that was Jordan Harnish maybe got some impact. 79
27 machine, Ashland involved.
So yeah, they were, I mean, that kind of reminded me old school Winston, Kyle Petty and Dale Earnhardt, as they were tight racing there, not giving each other space down the straightaway. But that caused the second caution of the night, and without much surprise, everyone down pit lane yet again.
97 staying out, I'm assuming just to lead a lap. But all of your leaders are in. Looks like maybe the 22 machine taking 2 tires.
Mark Emerson taking those 2 tires. We'll see what Andy Veltman decides to do. He pitted also, as well as everybody else, on that prior caution. And we know at Charlotte, Brandon, we watched a race last night for the Integrity Racing League, which you could find here very well on LSRTV last night. And it ended kind of in a little bit of a caution spree, but we saw 150 laps green flag racing, and we saw strategies galore. And, you know, it definitely is something that can happen, but with these yellow flags, do you really think that the strategies can play out in the same way? I would imagine most drivers are just going to want to take 4 tires every time, but I mean, you never know. We'll see how these 2 tires do work.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, Corey, for sure. I mean, you know, obviously there's going to be that strategy. I don't think it's really going to do much here at the beginning of this race, but, you know, this race just does not have a green flag feel to it yet, so you never know.
And it all ultimately depends, too, on how these cars are driving. I have not had the opportunity yet to hop in this week in the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup machine at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, so I don't know exactly how these cars are handling, but as we do know, if a car is on the tight side, 2 tires is not going to hurt it. It will most certainly loosen the car up. Hopefully it loosens it up just enough where you can dig just that little bit more, but there are times where those 2 tires will make that thing almost uncontrollable.
And definitely loosens up that race car quite a bit. So, but we also don't know what these drivers are dealing with here tonight. The conditions that these guys are dealing with. So, you know, could be a tight race car as is. Maybe it could help.
Yeah, especially where there's not too many laps on those left sides. So that is something to watch out for. And something else I wanted to bring up where we talked about the points leader of Jeff Ward. He started at the back of the pack, but he is currently in the 15th position right now. So, seeing as we have not run too many laps green flag, to already be up halfway through the field is a pretty good accomplishment. So we'll see how long it takes for that 90 to get in the top 5. I would not imagine it taking that long.
Yeah, absolutely. But wow, field stacked up, doubled up, ready to go back green flag racing once again. This time, it'll be Mark Emerson leading the field to the green flag. To his outside is the 70 Scott Eckrich. Evan Black in that 99 machine back there into 3rd. Nick Cohan, 57, is your top 4 drivers here. The first 2 rows of drivers. And should be interesting to see what happens on this restart with that 22 machine.
Yeah, we'll see if there is wheel spin. We'll see if he can get the jump he needs. We have seen the inside prevail. Last time by, though, the 57 of Cohan on that outside was able to stay right with the leader and give him a charge into turn number 1. So we'll see what happens here as we exit corner number 4. Pace car will take the dive in there. When will the 22 get the race underway? He will get on the log pedal right now. We are racing here for the restart.
Good jump by that 22 machine, exactly what he needed. Eckrich defends that inside line now. Evan Black right to his back bumper.
Evan Black side by side with Cohan, and he will clear for that spot, moving into P3 exclusively. But Scott Eckrich had a very good run off of corner number 2, closes right to the back bumper of that U.S. Navy Ford Fusion. You can see the 22 drifting up off of corner number 4. That allows a 70 to look side by side underneath for the lead, lap number 21.
Eckrich did not quite get there to lead that lap, but he's going to easily pass that 22 machine heading down into turn 1, now down out of turn number 2. Evan Black going to be looking for that second position.
Evan Black has closed right to the back bumper of Emerson, so it's going to be a battle of how many spots is that 22 going to lose. We'll have to see how that does happen. The 22 really trying his hardest to hook it right around the white line, and lost some momentum. Here comes Black to the outside, trying to get the run into turn 1 on the outside, but not happening this time by.
No, Emerson manages to defend that movement. Now Evan Black looking down low. Black couldn't quite get the run, gonna have to fall back in line once again. Emerson holding a little bit better on those 2 tires than I originally thought he would.
Evan Black trying to dig on the inside. He wants to get this pass done quickly, because I know Evan Black, as we know with those PTRTV logos on that machine, he is someone that likes to save his tires and surge later in the run. And the more you are battling side by side, the more you are killing that right front tire.
Heading down the back straightaway now. The 57 now underneath the 99. Evan Black side by side heading down at turn number 4 now.
Not sure if that's a bad thing for the 99. We saw how much trouble that Black had with the 22 on the inside. Maybe Cohan will have a better luck. We'll see. 99 will surge it on the outside. Does not want to get into the wall. He does exactly
he's into
that.
The outside wall.
Loses that position.
No damage,
loses the position to Mogard as well. Those positions settle out, but they still are in quite the gaggle for about 9th on back. Sam Maxwell in the 98 to the inside of Troy Hay. The 40 machine in the 51, the 91 rather, Woody Mahan and Nick Curling make some contact through 3 and 4. They're side by side, nearly 3 wide here back in the pack. 90 and the 91 side by side through corners number 1 and 2, as they are right behind Woody Mahan. That is for the 9th, 10th positions, but up front, side by side, 57 and 22. That is for P2, those older tires of Mark Emerson. They are hanging on pretty well, but Cohan in that 57 will persevere.
Nick Cohan has a really fast car here tonight as well. You know, obviously Scott Eckrich out front by quite a ways now, considering, and well, Nick Cohan getting around to the 22 machine of Emerson, and well, Emerson maybe gonna fight back, right back to the back bump of the 57 machine, heading down through 3.
He will take it to the top of the speedway through corner number 3 and 4, seeing if he can get that momentum off of the corner. Got very loose off of corner number 4, so that momentum will not be in the way that he wanted it to be, so he will lose that momentum to the number 57, taking it to the top of the track again. Here comes Mogard with a look to the middle of the racetrack. Here comes Evan Black with a look to the bottom of the racetrack.
Yeah, Evan Black trying to gain some positions back. Lost another one to Jared Mogard back there in that 00. Evan Black, the 99, going to look down low. He has a momentum. Now heading up out of turn number 4, right to the back bumper to Mogard. Heading down through the Charlotte Quadruple. Just nowhere to go for that 99 machine right now.
Yeah, he just maybe used up his stuff. That little bit of wall contact did not help his case at all. But that 22... maybe the 57 has a little bit better tactics planned at this point. He was able to get by, but Black just not able to get by with the same ease, and we'll see if Mogard has any easier of luck.
Jared Mogard, that 00 machine, we fast every week here in ASRS, and well, no exception here tonight. You can tell that car very fast here so far tonight. That 00 machine now going to be looking underneath the 22. Not quite going to get there this time. Evan Black still lurking on the back bump of that 00 as well.
Yeah, this 00 was trying to run a little bit of a different line that time by. Instead of running all the way to the bottom, maybe just trying to run a little bit lower, trying to maximize that momentum of the top of the racetrack. That actually gave him a pretty good run there off of corner number 4. He'll pull door to door with that number 22, and I think he has a little bit of an edge entering corner number 1.
Jared Mogard going to be side by side with that 22 machine of Emerson. Emerson out there on 2 tires. And now Evan Black, these guys get battling side by side. He has nowhere to go now. Heading down into corner number 3, Jared Mogard just can't seem to get around as easily on the low side, but he hooks that white line, exactly what he needed to do. He'll slide up, contact, a little bit of contact between those 2 drivers. Jared Mogard has to keep the car down low. That allows Emerson to slip back up on the high side once again. It looks like Mogard may be able to clear him once again.
Mogard will clear, but Black did not have the same success. The 22 was inches off the fence in 1 and 2, managed to keep off of it, gave him a good run, but here comes 99 with the dive to the inside, really hooking that white line. That is exactly what you want to do. I think he will clear. Most certainly he will.
Yeah, now Evan Black, move him up another position.
Your leader
now up to that 4th position.
Now that has fizzled out, your leader, Scott Eckrich, he is up right now by 1.3 seconds over Nick Cohan in that 57, who is pulled away by about a second over those drivers we were watching in that battle for 3rd. So let's go back and find you some action on the racetrack. It seems to be in the back of the pack right now. Everyone has fizzled out up front, but we do have Tom Gianni in the 44. He is in the 16th position. Ty Hester, Jared Haggerty, they are 14th and 15th side by side, entering corner number 1. A lot of the times, the best battling on the track of this league is in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, the 6 of Haggerty is ahead of Hester. The 84 machine, I do believe that is to the inside of Ty Hester. That is Jeremiah Vincent in that number 84. They
almost a little bit of contact between those 2 drivers back there. Hard racing back there. You see Tom Gianni just behind them in the 44.
They are able to clear out for that position. Alex Giese to the outside, the 63 Tyler Seville to the inside. But Brandon, there's someone we need to focus on, and we talked about it on the restart. He was in the 15th position. He started all the way in the 30s. Jeff Ward up to P6.
Jeff Ward, one of the, well, more dominating drivers so far this season, that number 90 machine. And yeah, one to look out for every week here into the American Sim Racing Series. Just shows the speed week after week. And, well, yeah, he's up to P6, and he's got his eyes set on that 22 machine right now. Now, Evan Black with Bobble up there, 22 machine making evasive maneuver. Looks like incident avoided there. That allows that 90 machine to catch up. The guys behind him going to be side by side.
Ward may go 2 for 1 here. He's going to go to the outside of Emerson, and absolutely masterful job and masterful call to take those 2 tires. They are working out much better than I think any of us expected, but he has the run to the outside of the 22. He will close to the back bumper of the 99 is Jeff Ward. We'll see what he does with this momentum off of corner number 2 down the back straightaway and into 3.
Jeff Ward up on the high side of the racetrack now will be sure to take that 5th position away now. Heading down through the quad oval, now has his eyes set on the 99 of Evan Black.
That is the 4th position on offer right now. Let's pull up here and show what kind of lap times these guys are running in the top 10, so we have an idea of what to expect right now. The 70 in the 5/10 of a second bracket, a 30.56 last time by. Next fastest driver was the 57 as Tim Knott into the wall as Ward in Black passed him as he went a lap down. Close call there. But as these guys take the stripe again, without much of a surprise, Eckrich is the fastest guy on the speedway.
But Jeff Ward, Corey, all the way up from the back of the pack to 4th here on this run. So he's going to be one to really, really watch out for it. He's sitting on a rocket right now. It's just a matter of how is he going to catch the guys in front of him.
Yeah, he may need it. Actually, he's only, well, he's 4.5 seconds back. So it all depends. This race is getting more and more of a green flag vibe as these laps tick away and drivers do spread out. So we're going to get to a point, right now we're 22 laps into this run. We're going to get to a point in about 25 laps where these guys are really going to have to contemplate what kind of strategy they're going to want to play for the end of the race. We're on lap number 40, as we saw in our coverage last night. These guys can go 55 to 60 laps on fuel. So if they want to take it another 35 laps, that'll put them on lap number 75, and that'll give them the rest of the distance on one more stop. But I'm more inclined to think these guys are going to want to split it into two segments, but we're going to have to see, and that's of course assuming that the yellow flag doesn't come out anymore, and we can never rule out that option.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, as the run goes on, these guys are either going to be starting to get really tight or really loose, or possibly both. If they're tight through the center of the corner, and will be loose on exit. So these race cars are going to become a handful to drive here as the run goes on, and never rule out that possibility of a yellow flag.
Yeah, right now the closest set of battles on the track. We did follow it earlier, but still seems to be the case. Woody Mahan in the 40 machine. Tom Gianni behind him. Jordan Harnish behind him in the 54 machine. They are right now nose to tail for about 4 consecutive vehicles. Big wiggle there from the 40 off of corner number 4. That will give Gianni a little bit of momentum off of that corner down the front straightaway, seeing if he can make a move entering corner number 1. He'll go to the top of the racetrack. 40 will run the middle. We'll see if the 44 can get the momentum built up down the back straightaway. And we have a car spun out down the back straightaway. That is Jeremiah Vincent. Oh, actually, I take that back.
Well,
that is Evan Black.
No kidding.
Evan Black in the number 99 machine. Some heavy contact, but we stay green. We'll go back on instant replay and see what happened to Evan, as he just got loose off corner number 2. Just straight got loose and hard contact into the inside wall and never actually spun out. So the flagman kept the green in the air, and terrible break for that number 99 machine, as he has some pretty significant left front damage. He may be able to get that fixed under a caution, but that caution is not seeming to come out anytime soon.
Yeah, that DK Enterprise Primetime Racing car not in good shape anymore. He's staying out there, maybe just trying to, hold his own, but I think that takes him out of contention.
Yeah, I've been a part-time driver, but the way he has run, he may have a chance to sneak his way into the chase picture if he keeps these runs going. And there's a little bit of attrition on his side, so maybe that is motivation for him to stay in it. But
oh, Jordan Ashland speeding really hard on pit road now into the inside pit road wall, blowing an engine, just trying to get off the racetrack as soon as he possibly can. Good job by Ashland to keep that off the racetrack.
Again, we stay green. A lot of incidents happening right now, but nothing that is causing any kind of caution. So we stay green through all of this. Eckrich out to a 2.6 second lead at the moment. So
these, Corey, are all incidents that want to bring out a caution but aren't.
Yeah, of course, the iRacing flagman, there's a couple things he wants in place for him to throw a caution. He wants a car to be sideways, nearly at a perpendicular angle, about 90-degree angle, and there needs to be a car approaching him within about 2 to 3 tenths of a second. When that kind of fulfills itself, and it has to be on the racing surface. That is the biggest asterisk to all this. So if we have guys spinning on the apron all the way to the inside or in the grass, that doesn't bother the flagman. He keeps it going green, and that's happened a couple times tonight.
Tough flagger.
Yeah, he is. I mean, you know all about flagging. Would that fly in your book? No,
no, not really. But I guess it works at iRacing.
Jeff Ward up to P4, and look who's in front of him. That's position number 3, Jared Mogard. Mind you, all this is 5.5 seconds off of the leader. Here he comes off into corner number 1 and 2, right around that white line, Brandon. Remember, I talked about that earlier. I think the guys who are going to prevail, they're going to be keeping it right on that white line. You know who else does that in the real world? Keeps it right on the white line all race and always is quick? Take a stab at it. Who's winning all the races this year?
Oh, well, I imagine you're going to go with Kevin Harvick.
Yes, sir, yeah. I am. Kevin Harvick is always known to be a bottom feeder. He says he keeps that thing on the white line. Kind of reminds me of Mark Martin as well back in his heyday. Kept it right around the white line, didn't deviate to the wall, and there's a lot of success down there. If everyone's running the wall, You got to succeed by running when they're not.
And Jeff Ward is still trying to get around that 00 machine. Jaron Mogard for the 3rd position.
Yep, Mogard not going down without a fight, though. He does have that momentum off of corner number 4. He will pull door to door again. Actually, not quite door to door. I think this is going to be his last life entering turn number 1 and 2. The 90 will clear to the inside. The 00 will try to get wound up there on the outside, but not enough. So move Ward into P3.
Heading down into turn number 3 now. Caution flag on the speedway. It's the 79 down in
Jeff
turn
Gross
number 1.
on the front straightaway. See what happened to Jeff. Let's see here. He is running with Evan Black behind him.
Oh, Evan Black collected in this one again.
He got loose in the quad oval and then directly into that 99's path on the front straightaway. Absolutely nothing that the 99 could do about that. His day has just gone from bad to worse. We'll go here on that 99's onboard camera. You can see the 79 and just boom. At that point, the 79, he got loose in the quad oval. We do know on old tires, we were on about 35 laps, that these cars get really light in the quad oval, so it's not very unheard of to have something like that happen.
And the field's coming down pit road now, Corey, led by the 70 Scott Eckridge.
Yep, so we expect 4 tires and fuel from all the lot up in the front of the field. I'd expect it from everybody with that length of a run. So
Cohan overdid his pit stall, Corey. Now still trying to get into place. Finally gets into place here. They'll jack up that car. That's going to hurt him a ton.
Yep, the 70 will have an unchallenged...
Lots of 2 tires going on as well, it looks like.
Not from what I can see, Brandon.
Never mind.
Yes, I was going to see. I'd have to consult with a couple...
Don't listen to me.
I would have to consult with a couple of those crews if we had some 2 tire stops after that lengthy of a run, but we are on lap number 52. We are under caution for, I believe it to be the 3rd time here tonight on PTRTV, on LSRTV. We're going to step away for a brief side-by-side break and be back with you for the restart. So again, stay with us.
Red Bull GRCs are now available on iRacing. I personally put my blood, sweat, and tears into this thing, developing the cars, the tracks, the dirt, making sure it is authentic as possible, and I really think you guys are going to love it. The best part is that this 600 horsepower Volkswagen Beetle is free to all members. So get signed up now and come race me online.
We're back here on PTRTV on LSRTV for the restart here. Lap number 54. 70th Scott Eckrich will get this race underway from P number 1. Jeff Ward, points leader, started all the way in the back. He is P2 right now. We are ready for this restart. Coming off of corner number 4. Pace car will take the hard left into pit lane. We wait for the 70 to get the race underway. He already is on the gas pedal. We're racing again here at Charlotte.
Another great jump by that 70 machinist, Scott Eckrich, that time by. The battle goes on behind him for second, however. Going to be side by side between the 00 of Mogard and the number 90 of Ward.
Ward in the 90, he's up top. Oh, we have carnage on the back straightaway.
Oh boy.
Tyler Seville.
Hard hit, no caution.
He's off the speedway. I don't know if he's going to get off the speedway in time. We'll see.
He's down low.
We'll go back and try to see on replay what happened quickly. Cut me off, Brandon, if anything happens live.
Well, the 77 got into the wall.
Yes, we're watching the 63 of Tyler Seville here off of corner number 2. See the 77 in the wall just come down into the track. 63, kind of similar incident with Evan Black. Kind of got hit in, kind of had a similar impact into the barrier down the back straightaway at the very least. But back to live action. Scott Eckrich up by 0.3 of a second. Jeff Ward with a head of steam off of corner number 4. Cut that gap to absolutely nothing.
Jeff Ward and trying to gain on your current leader of Scott Eckrich. Jeff Ward, the driver to watch out for week after week here in the ASRS Twitchy Race Reports Premier Cup Series here, and for, you know, just every week, Scott Eckrich also one to watch out for, but Jeff Ward tonight just seems to have that little bit more speed, but right now he's got company from Jared Mogard.
Yeah, Mogard always someone to watch out for. Mogard kind of going for the Triple Crown. The ASRS, they have 3 Premier Series. They have obviously the Cup Series here, their Truck Series, and Wednesday night they have their Home Track Short Track Series. It revolves in between asphalt and dirt. Mogard runs in all 3 of them. He's up there in all 3 of them, trying to show what he can do with Eckrich and Ward. But Mark Emerson, remember, he took 2 tires early in the race. He's on 4 right now, showing the speed that 22 has all over the back bumper of the 00.
Heading down into turn number 1 now. That 90 machine slowly starting to creep to the back bump of the 70 machine has got Eckrich. Eckrich has not been able to pull away at all, really. Now the 90 machine, Ward reeling him back in down the back straightaway, heading down into turn number 3. Number 90 machine trying to gain that ground, running a little bit higher of a line, trying to get the momentum off.
Yeah, he tried to do that, and it did appear to work pretty well. He's all the way to the back bumper again of the leader. Still the 22 of Emerson, rather, trying to get to the inside of Mogard. Watch out, we haven't talked about him once yet. Brian Yazik is in the picture here in the 5th position.
Brian Yazik, another fast driver in this league, and that 55 machine back there, just kind of lurking back there right now. He had to start at the very tail end of the field, so he's made his way up through, and pretty well job from him. The 90 machine of Ward, he's seeming to struggle quite a bit down at turn number 4, Corey. Just can't seem to get the runs off.
Yeah, and something also to watch too, Ward was really quick on that long run. That's where he gained all of his time. He may be saving his stuff, ready for a long stint to the end, or just something on those lines. So as he's running the top of the racetrack through 3 and 4, down to 0.4 off of Eckrich, but I'm not too worried about that quite yet.
Yeah, no, not too worried about that at all, because as you just said, Corey, Ward probably trying to save his stuff here. If I was Eckrich and pulling away from Ward, in the back of my head, I'd be a little bit concerned if I'm burning off my stuff a little bit too quickly.
Yeah, most certainly. It's only 10 laps into the run. Like I said, these guys can go 50 some odd laps. We are on lap number 62, halfway, if math will be on my side, is 67. So, Joe Chris in the booth, please help me out on that. Matt, this is a very odd number.
Yes.
67, yes. Yeah, I could divide. So 67, halfway point coming up. We know they can go 60 laps, absolute maximum on fuel. I think 55 is a safer estimate. So theoretically, the pit window for the final stop would be around lap number 75. So again, I don't know how risky these guys are going to be, thinking that we're going to finish this race green, but it is going to have to be on these drivers' minds. We're going to need one more stop.
Ryan Yazik could right onto the back bumper of the 22 machine looking for that 4th position. Now we're going to pull it to the inside. Going to be side by side. Heading down into turn number 3 now. The 55, Yazik on the inside. 22, Emerson on that outside. Now heading down at turn number 4. Advantage goes to Emerson. Momentum up on the high side.
Yeah, he is able to clear for the spot there off corner number 4 down the front straightaway and into corner number 1 and 2. As up front, a lap machine, that is Jim Foose, league owner. He is a lap off actually he's multiple 5 laps off the pace. You can see that significant damage, kind of running more of a modified than he is a cup car at the moment. Just trying to tick off these remaining laps, so leaders will get by him with relative ease. And here we come off of corner number 4 down the front straightaway. That's Nick Cohan. Remember, he had that bad pit stop, trying to make the most of it back to the bumper of Brian Yazik, trying to get these positions back.
Yeah, out of turn number 2 now, the 57 machine. Cohan trying to gain those positions back, but now Brian Yazik pulls to the inside of Emerson once again. Going to be side by side between those 2 drivers. Now heading down at turn number 4 to 22 machines. Should get the momentum on the high side. Noah Bobble up on the high side. Brian Yazik still not quite clear, but he should be able to clear down here in turn 1, and that he does. He
does exactly that. Yazik up to P4, side by side for 5th position. Cohan's going to try to dive it on and go 2 for 1 on the inside of both Emerson and Yazik. I don't think that move is going to be as successful as he may have hoped, but he's going to try to do the best he can. He may actually get Emerson. Emerson has been very good on the top of the racetrack. He will run off of the top down the front straightaway, and I think he will be able to hang on for the time being at the very least.
Halfway now. Halfway down, halfway to go for these drivers, and these guys kind of just ticking off laps now. Race starting to go by fairly quickly, and these guys, you know, at around the 3/4 mark of this race is where these guys are really going to start to push it a little bit further, try to gain those extra spots. But right now, more focused on whether or not they'll have to make green flag pit stops.
Yeah, and we have already had crossed flags, so halfway has eclipsed itself as we are on lap number 69 at the moment. Looking back a few further spots, Tom Gianni all the way running to the fence in 1 and 2. That allows Nick Curling in the 91 by a big wiggle from the 44 off of corner number 2. Curling actually not getting by from at the present moment, so he will fall back in line behind him. Jared Haggerty in the 13th position, and I think this is a pretty good time here as things have settled out. We could do our PTRTV on LSRTV mid-race break and let you know where your favorite drivers may be running at the moment. Lap number 70. Scott Eckrich leading 64 of the 70 laps in P1. Jeff Ward in position number 2. Jared Mogard in a battle with Brian Yazik. 3rd and 4th are Mogard and Yazik. Nick Cohan in 5th. Mark Emerson in 6th. Michael Krobik in 7th. Sam Maxwell running in 8th, Ronnie Osmer in 9th, Troy Haight running in 10th. Tom Gianni in 11th, Nick Curling in 12th, Ty Hester in 13th, Jeremiah Vincent in 14th, Woody Mahan in 15th, fresh into the wall is Jordan Harnish in 16th, Andy Veltman running in 17th, Justin Rector 18th, John Kennedy in 19th, Evan Black still on the lead lap with that damage in the 20th position. Some issue with Jared Haggerty, who's being scored in 21st now, but I think he's having some connectivity issues. But Jason Stewart is in 22nd, Tim Knott in 23rd, Jeff Gross in 24th, Jim Foose being scored 26th as Alex Giese is off the track. Tyler Seville also on the track, technically in 27th. And then we have Jordan Ashland. Those are the only drivers remaining registered left in the race.
So, going back up front, Corey, Scott Eckrich still out front, but I'd like to point out how ill these race cars are starting to handle on these tires. Scott Eckrich looking like, you know, he's hooking the white line okay, but starting to get very loose, especially out of turn number 4.
Yeah, turn 4 is, at least in my experience, where you have the most wheel into it, trying to get that thing turned. Turn 3 and 4 kind of has a sharper radius to it. different banking transitions. So at least in my experience, you really have to crank the wheel on corner exit, and as tight as they may be in the center, that just really makes that loose off condition even worse.
Yep, so
we'll take a look here. Let you see that we are currently 22 laps into these runs for these drivers. So
54 on pit road, Corey.
54 on pit lane. Will this be starting a sequence of pit stops? A little bit earlier than what I would have expected.
Oh no, 54, Jordan Harnish is done. I do stand corrected.
I was gonna say, because I could not find him anywhere, so I was trusting your logic on that. Something we don't know what quite happened, but what we do know what is happening is there's contact with the 00 and the 55 through corners 3 and 4. Amazing save on both parts. We're gonna take a look on replay.
Yazik has some pretty serious damage to the right side of that race car.
Yeah, there was, I think the 55 just, he got back in line behind the 00, entering corner number 3, and he just sailed it off in there. Not quite sure if there was intent or if he just missed his marks, but both drivers able to save it.
Unbelievable save from both of those drivers. I imagine Mogard not going to be too happy about that one.
Yeah, we're not sure if there was any kind of a prelude, because Yazik, from what we've talked to him on the podium quite a few times, he's a very laid back and calm racer, and I wouldn't expect him to get that kind of style, but I mean, we all know everyone's a racer. We do all get upset. Is there someone loose to the inside in 1 and 2 right now? That's Nick Curling, and there's
22
someone
into the wall. Backstretch.
Mark Emerson, he's off of the racing surface, so again, this will not cause the flagger to throw out a yellow, but we'll go back and check this on replay. Mark Emerson, remember, he took those 2 tires, and he
now
was
clear the grass on the front stretch as well. That clears as well. Lot of things going on now.
Yeah, Emerson just got into the turn 2 wall, and this, again, that is about the 4th time, and they all keep missing the safer barrier there off of corner number 2. But yeah, it almost seems as if there's an oil slick out there right now with as many drivers that are just losing it right now.
That was Ronnie Osmer that went through the grass on the front stretch, and as I say that, the 36 machine gets really loose down off of 4. That's Ty Hester manages to save that race car.
Yep, so the pit window is open right now for them to complete the rest of the race on 1 stop. They can go realistically about 25 more laps, so the question's going to be, especially now that this field is pretty well spread out, when are you going to want to make that green flag stop? But with as many drivers that are on the edge of control, you'd have to imagine, as Ty Hester, big excursion through the quad oval there, keeps it going, to prove my exact point I was just saying. At one of these times, these guys are going to lose it, and someone is going to have to cause a caution. We have drivers on the edge of control right now. This is reminding more of me of Atlanta Motor Speedway with how slick it must be for these drivers right now. So
side by side again, the 55 and the 00 battling it out once again. Surprised Yazik is able to hold any sort of speed with the front end of that race car the way it is, but trying to get back to Jared Mogard and trying to gain that extra position.
I mean, and the million-dollar question, at least for me, is was that move a mistake or was there intent? And if it was intent, what's it going to happen this time by? Is he's right to the back bumper again, entering corner number 3. He will try to run it. He'll run it right on that white line.
I really don't think it had anything to do with intent. I think Mogard just, went into the corner and, slowed down. And I don't think Yazik was expecting him to slow down that much, especially if you were following him lap after lap. Maybe he bobbled a little bit and just wasn't expecting it. But now, Yazik down on the low side once again, trying to get his nose in there. Not quite going to happen there. Mogard going to manage to hold off.
Yeah, it's typically not something that we would have seen from the 55. There was just such a speed differential there, as he has a big wiggle off corner number 4 that the 55 had on the 00. Usually you just don't see that kind of thing, but with the way these cars are handling, I guess it's not too
Trouble
far.
on the front straightaway, 53 up at the outside wall. Sorry to cut you off. That's Ronnie Osmer again. He's slow, but we stay green. Look at the contact he's doing a couple of drivers. That was the 84 that he made contact with.
On replay, yes, indeed. Right now, the 53 got loose and into the 84. 84 was able to keep it going straight, but some contact there and some wall impact for Ronnie Osborne. But again, as the consensus has been all night, we stay green.
55, Brian Yazik now on pit road.
And he's
done for the night. Unbelievable. Brian Yazik behind the wall.
Maybe, Brandon, if you can. I'm not sure if you can. I wonder, we talked about the good old incident limit on iRacing. Do you think that he, with all those impacts, may have eclipsed it? Because
nope, he went in to change tires and decided to call it quits.
Wow. So that
maybe just too much damage.
That is a top-tier driver in the league, third in points. That is just exited the race prematurely, so that is going to be a big shakeup in the top 5 right now. But heading back to the front, we're going to bring up the PTRTV/LSRTV battle tracker, and the lead is 1.3 seconds, and Ward and Eckert separated by 4 1/1000ths last lap, with the advantage going to the 70.
Yeah, absolutely. So Scott Eckridge still out front. Jeff Ward trying to chase him down. But with the green flag, pit stops right around the corner here. I imagine these guys, you know, just trying to ride around, just do what they have to do, and once they get on fresh tires, see if they can make up some ground. Because right now, these race cars are not handling very good.
Yeah, not at all, and that situation is kind of exaggerated by how you were driving on the initial run of the race, on the initial set of tires when we've got this race underway. If you got those tires on and you drove the wheels off of it, you're going to be a lot worse off than if maybe you pedaled it just a little bit, took a little bit shallower corner entry, saved that right front. Those guys are prevailing right now. As here comes Tom Gianni, 8th position on the pit lane.
Tom Gianni making his pit stops here under the green flag now. Now, will that start a cycle, Corey? Will Gianni be the one to start the cycle of green flag stops?
He was at the latter end of the top 10, so I'm not sure if that's going to drag other drivers on with him, but it may have a domino effect. Maybe the guys that were racing with him will be queued on the pit road, and that could start a domino effect. We will see. Nobody, at least in the top 10, takes the hard left last time by, so
the big one will be either Scott Eckridge or Jeff Ward when they come to pit lane. People are going to want to follow the same strategy.
I feel that right now, Jeff Ward has some power right now, and I think he is going to want to start this strategy earlier, and I think he is going to want to pit before Eckridge, because every lap that they stay out is approximately 2.2 seconds right now slower than they started these runs off on. So if Ward wants to get that lead, if he wants to close in, all he has to do is pit 1 lap sooner than Eckridge, and he will gain that advantage without too much of a detriment.
Absolutely.
And of course, if he does pit, let's say Ward does pit, that is going to drag Eckridge in almost immediately, because Eckridge is not going to want to be out there at a disadvantage. So I think Jeff Ward is really kind of holding the cards right now.
Scott Eckridge making his way around a lap car. Jim Foose in that 42 machine, very damaged race car there. That car has definitely seen better days. Foose, I believe, on fresher tires, actually.
He does have a front end, though, which is more than we saw last time that we observed that 42, so at least some slight damage has been repaired by that number 42 pit crew. We will update you. Still have not seen, other than Tom Gianni, we have yet to see anybody in the top 3 or top 5, even the top 10 for that matter, come to pit road. So as we are on right now, 42 to go, this is getting to the point where it's not that unheard of. They're on about 40 laps right now on this set of tires. And here comes Cohan, third position. Whoa, Cohan sideways. He locked him up. He keeps it going, gets it straight, but he locked those up, and he got dead sideways on pit entry. That'll cost him a ton of time.
And again, we stay green.
And a couple other drivers, Woody Mahan, Jeremiah Vincent, some guys in the early teens that have decided to come to pit road, but the top ticket guys, your leader is staying on the speedway. Scott Eckrich taking lap number 94 right now, 40 to go, with 41 to be technical, I do believe. You can see there's 3 drivers, 3 lap down machines separating our top 2 right now. Got about 1.5 seconds between them as it is. I just had some clarification from Brian Yazik as the 90 of Jeff Ward, P2, as I called it. He is going to get the race down pit road started for the top 5 drivers. Just got clarification. The 55 of Brian Yazik had some real-life personal matters to attend to, which, I mean, I know I've had that happen before, so tough day, but I mean, ultimately we are sim racing, so has to take care of the real world first, so we hope everything's fine with him, and hopefully not too bad of a points hit for him. But Jeff Ward exiting the pits right now, and Scott Eckrich, much to my surprise, will stay on the speedway. Staying on the speedway is going to cost him about 2 seconds a lap. Remember, when he does pit, he will have those better tires than Jeff Ward, but he's going to have to play from behind and try to get that gap back.
Here's
and here
Scott
he comes,
coming up the road.
lap number 96. So he stayed out an additional 2 laps in relation to Ward. We'll see what that equates to on the speedway. As Sam Maxwell exiting his stall, Jared Mogard exiting his pit stall. Lead at the moment will go to Troy Haight in the 28 machine as he is on the speedway. And we're going to see how this all shuffles out, and we did see it happen last night in our coverage of Integrity Racing League. Cautions can come out during these green flag cycles and really shake everything up.
Yeah, absolutely, and not out of the realm here with how tricky these cars are to handle right now.
All right, so this is going to be the interesting call. We'll see right now as they are both up to speed, I do believe, at the moment. Jeff Ward is entering corner number 3 in the 6th position. Nick Cohan behind him in 7th. Scott Eckrich is in 8th, and the difference between them is approximately... I will see when the intervals cycled through. I think it's about 2 seconds between Eckrich and Ward right now. Yeah, just about 2 to 3 seconds. So we'll see if those 2-lap fresher tires for Eckrich are able to close in on Ward. And if they do, can he make anything happen to get this win back, as we have 35 laps to go this time by. Troy Haight remaining on the speedway in the number 28 machine. Ronnie Osmer in 2nd. Jeff Ward up to 3rd. So right now that is the remaining drivers that have stayed on the speedway. Just waiting on those final 2, and then we will be cycled back out. Michael Krobik actually being shown in 4th as he pitted about 10 laps ago. So he's on some older tires, but made a little bit of a track position call. We'll see how that shakes out for him.
Woody Mahan now behind the wall with some technical errors with his equipment. So, unfortunate break for him.
Now, some serious attrition that we've seen here tonight. I think we already have about at least 15 drivers out of the race so far. So, Charlotte not playing kind to many tonight, which is much the surprise as we are on lap number 101. We've only had 3 caution flags tonight. All of them were pretty early in the race. We are on a pretty significant green flag run right now. Great job by these guys to pull this off. Still waiting for Haight and Osborne to come to pit road, and it'll have to be within 10 laps.
Yeah, Troy Haight currently out in front of that LCL Motorsports Chevrolet, and well, I think at this point, Corey, you're not really being helped, and maybe you're just waiting for a caution.
At this point, we are up to the 11th position is on the lead lap. Actually, that's going to change. That is the 12th position as Jeremiah Vincent gets his lap back. So at the point we're on, if a caution came out...
Car around on the backstretch into the wall, no caution. It's the 79, Jeff Gross.
And he's off the racing surface, and I think he can see him. He's trying his hardest to remain off the racing surface. He does decide just to tow back. We'll see what happened on replay. Everyone at this point is trying so hard to not cause a wreck, as Eckrich in the 70 closed on the 79 so quickly. Wow. There may have been a little bit of contact there.
No damage to Eckrich's car.
But into the safer barrier there off of corner number 2. That has been the hot spot tonight.
Props to Jeff Groves for keeping it down below the white line and not bringing out a caution flag.
What I was about to say, and it would have been phenomenal timing for Troy Haight, if a caution comes out right now, it is going to cue everybody back to pit lane, and he is going to look like a genius with the lead. But if this stays green, he is going to...
drop like a rock.
Yeah, like a rock, and not like the old Chevy commercial. He's not going to be like a rock in the good way. He is going to go all the way back to potentially even off the lead lap. Actually, that was a GMC commercial, not a Chevy commercial. I take back my analogy.
You tried.
I did try so hard, but Jared Mogard in the 00. He is in this 8th position now. He is closing quickly onto the back bumper of Ty Hester. Hester has 7-lap older tires, so Mogard should make by with this position with relative ease. I think the 36 is going to facilitate it and give him the inside groove. So here comes Mogard, rounding the outside off of 3 and 4 and moving into the 7th spot. Tom Gianni next on the 00's radar. Gianni pitted pretty much longer than anybody, so he pitted about 18 laps ago, so those tires are very aging on that One Main Financial SS of Tom Gianni.
Yeah, absolutely. So can't imagine how ill those cars and old tires must be handling right now.
Yeah, at this point, we're not too far off. We've been about 20 laps. These drivers have been over 40 lap stints. Of course, we're still waiting for Troy Haight, who's on over 50 laps on the speedway right now. So he is really pushing it, is praying that the caution gods are going to help him out. And I just got clarification that Like a Rock is Chevrolet, so I was right. So thank you, Not Peek in Chat, because I'm gonna have to go watch that YouTube video after the race and just clarify that. But off topic.
22 Mark Emerson in the bids.
Off topic right there, but here comes, as I just called a couple laps ago, 00 of Mogard has closed into the back bumper of Tom Gianni. That'll put him into 6th and eventually 5th. But as Troy Haight finally comes to pit road, Jeff Ward is in the lead yet again.
I'm Troy Haight coming to pit road. So yeah, as Corey just said.
Actually, I'm not going to say yet again, because this is actually the first time Ward has had the lead tonight. This is going to be a good old-fashioned battle. He's up by 2 seconds over Scott Eckrich. Eckrich has 3 lap fresher tires. So can Eckrich gain those 2 seconds, and can Eckrich complete a pass? And can he do it in 25 laps?
Ward doing a phenomenal job making his way through the lap traffic right now to try to hold that lead out in front. And Jeff Ward, I think a good call coming earlier than what Eckrich did out front with the lead once again. Well, obviously first time of the night, but used to seeing that number 90 car out in front this season.
Eckrich is dealing with the lap traffic behind the 97 of Andy Veltman.
Down low. The 42, Jim Foose is around.
But he's off the racing surface. And he kept
I cannot believe that didn't bring out a caution when he just backed up.
And he did a very detailed job backing up as he doored the 41. Not sure if that was a missed corner or if there was some kind of a ulterior motive there.
Cardle on the backstretch as well. The 91.
Nick Curling.
He's trying to get turned around
Again,
without bringing out a
Curling,
caution.
and look at these guys are driving with such respect. They are trying so hard to not throw out a yellow, going through every extent to stay off of the racing surface. As we said, the iRacing flagman, if it happens off the racing surface, I mean, to be honest, he doesn't care. So if he keeps it off the racing surface, we will stay green.
So Nick Curling gets it back going once again. It was a pretty hard contact with that inside wall, but keeps it going. Not coming to pit road, it doesn't look like. Doesn't want to give up too much position on the racetrack.
Yep, so up front right now, the gap, which was a 2 seconds when we initially called it, is down to 1.5 seconds. So let's pull up the battle tracker and let you know what the speed differential is. It was about 1/10.5 to the benefit of Scott Eckridge last time by. We'll see what it is as they cross the stripe to complete lap number 113. A 30.56 to a 30.43, another 10th. So Ward is definitely losing his lead, and the mathematics show that Eckridge will get there, but by the time he gets there, those tires will have kind of equalized out a little bit, and I really think this is going to be a nice, exciting battle for the win.
These guys on lap 114 coming to lap 115 of 134. The Preds 200 here from the Charlotte Motor Speedway, the ASRS Twitchy Race Reports Premier Cup Series. Here live, PTRTV on LSRTV. If you're just tuning in, folks, these guys just finished out green flag pit stops. Jeff Ward out front by just about 1.5 seconds here over number 7 machine of Scott Eckridge.
That 1.5 already has minimized down to 1.1 seconds. Remember, there is a 3-lap differential in tires. Ward having 3-lap older tires than Scott Eckridge in position number 2. So the battle is going to be in 19 laps. Can that 1 second gap become evaporated? I think it's going to be. The question is, will he be able to pass him? The question is, are we going to have another caution? Because there are guys spinning out all over the speedway, but none of them have cued the yellow.
Now, one thing I'm wondering, Corey, and maybe one thing that I've noticed a little bit, is Jeff Ward letting off the throttle quite a ways through the corner. Is he maybe just trying to save his stuff right now, and when the time comes close, maybe hit that loud pedal a little bit more?
Well, he wants to make sure that he is good for the entire run. He is the Chase C right now, so he doesn't want to go out there, use all his stuff up, and have absolutely nothing in the tank when Eckridge gets there. I say when, not if. But Eckridge, on the other end of the spectrum, is probably driving not to tire conservation mode, but to I need to get there. So there's a good chance, as I said, when Eckridge does get there, which I think is going to be in at least 3 laps, if not sooner than that, he is probably going to have an aggravated right front tire, so it might not be as easy as we may expect for him to pass Jeff Ward.
Yeah, absolutely. And, well, one thing that we came to talk about last night with the Integrity Racing League is, you know, who would you rather be, the chaser or the chasee? And I think Corey and I both agreed that we'd rather be the chaser.
Yeah, especially as long as your strategy works. And in the race we saw last night, the chaser strategy was not going to work. So the chasee was kind of going to have it. But in this situation where he's there, last time by he was another 10th faster than Ward. There's really nothing to lose. There's nothing wrong with the 70 situation now. He's running in second. He has better tires. He's right behind the leader. He just has to make it happen. That's all he has to do. And he's not from what I can tell. Actually, I think he's only missed one race this season, so having that win will really help him out in points and minimize out that missed race he has had on the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Still gaining in that on that 90 machine of Ward now. As folks may come down right to the end if Eckridge can catch Ward.
Yeah, just as a reference for the top 5 right now, remaining drivers, Nick Cohan about 9 seconds back in 3rd, Jared Mogard 15 seconds back in 4th, and Michael Krobik 18 seconds back in the 5th position right now. We still have 9 drivers on the lead lap. Jeremiah Vincent, the final one of those remaining drivers in the top 10. Sam Maxwell in 6th, Tom Gianni in 7th, Ty Hester in 8th, Jeremiah Vincent in 9th, and Troy Haight 1 lap down, rounding out your top 10. And look at that lead. That was 2 seconds, was 1 second. Now absolutely nothing. Scott Eckridge is there.
Coming down out of turn number 4 now, heading down through the quad oval. Scott Eckridge right to the back bumper to 90 machine of War now. Coming down into turn number 1, Scott Eckridge has to figure out a way around Ward running right on that white line.
Yeah, Ward is running right on the white line, but the outside of the track, we do know how much speed it does have. So Eckridge is going to have to get all around this speedway, try out these different lines, maybe hope for a little bit of a mistake from the 90 machine. Maybe on those slightly older tires, he might miss his marks by a couple inches. Open the door as we take 11 laps to go.
Yeah, 11 laps to go now here in the Fred's 200 from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Yellow flag, caution on the speedway.
Well, that changes everything.
Boy,
Ty Hester in the
boy.
36 machine.
Something that we were kind of expecting after all those spins finally goes around.
He lost it
looks
on the
like
back straightaway.
Yeah, he got loose down off of turn number 2, tried to correct it, got back in the throttle, and well, the car just took off on him and sideways down the back stretch. The iRacing flagger finally decided to throw the yellow flag for that one.
So we are going to be in a position where we're going to have most likely a 7-lap shootout to the end. It's been such a long stint that you're gonna have about 7 laps. You're gonna have to take 4 tires. There's really no way around it.
Yeah, absolutely no way around it at all. And, you know, unless you want to be the sitting duck out front, you're going to see all of these leaders coming down pit road, I assume to be this time. And, well, it's about to be a busy place down there. Here they come.
Yeah, the top 2 nose to tail here, absolutely wasting no space whatsoever, trying to get that every bit of advantage entering pit road. The 90 has a nice smooth pit entry. We'll see here if Scott Eckridge can nail his pit stall smoothly. We do know that it is not as easy as it used to be to get right into that pit stall, and it does appear that Eckridge got in smoothly. So let's just see here what it is on the stopwatch and who gets out first.
Well, Scott Eckridge, I think had the advantage here with the first pit stall. And away he goes and gets beat out by Ward. It's going to be Jeff Ward, then Scott Eckridge. And looks like Nick Cohan coming out of pit road in the 3rd position.
So as we expected, it's 4 tires and, well, I'm not quite sure if they wanted to take fuel or not, but 4 tires at the very least from everybody in the top, well, 7 or 8 drivers that came to pit lane. And Brandon, as I said, we're going to have 7, maybe 6 laps to go to end this out. We know that Ward has a fast car. We know that Eckridge has dominated this race. Ward is going to have control of the restart, has a chance to get out there and maybe get out to a car like their 2 lead. But do you think, oh, let me just simplify it. Who are you going to pick? Who are you going to take?
Well, I hate to be the one that picks the leader, but I'm going to go with Jeff Ward because, you know, if he gets a perfect restart and clears, I think he could, you know, get away with this. I think he would be able to hold off Eckridge.
And I am going to take Eckridge. I do think that Eckridge has the short run speed I think Jeff Ward may be a little better on the long run if he's on an equal set of tires, but I really think that 70 can get out there and get going as quickly as he needs to be to get back around him. And of course, we have to remember the iRacing cutoff lap is about 5 laps to go. That is actually, I'm going to take that back. It's about 6 laps to go, because in the American Sim Racing Series, if the iRacing officials will give us a 1-lap shootout, it is waived off. We do not have in the American Sim Racing Series 1-lap shootouts. So we will have to be able to be given a green-white checkered for the race to finish if there is a restart. And that at this point, Brandon, I'm pretty sure that opportunity is eliminated. So I think we could safely say this is going to be the final restart. Brandon?
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, handling a little bit of a situation back here behind the scenes, but yeah, I do believe that this should be the final restart of the night.
Yes, it is, as that is 1 to go. A couple drivers will get waved around the pace car, and we will actually take the green flag on 6 laps to go. 6 laps to go to decide the Fred's 200 here for the Twitchy Race Reports ASRS Premier Cup Series live here on PTRTV on LSRTV. Hope you have enjoyed the race. We've enjoyed bringing it to you here, so get ready for what should be a heck of a finish between 2 heavyweight drivers. Jeff Ward, who is the points leader, who has dominated the season, but Scott Eckridge in the 70 to the outside, who has dominated the race. Take your picks, get ready, and here we go for a 6-lap shootout.
These guys ready to get going. Green flag once again stacked up, doubled up, ready to go back. Green flag racing. The 90 machine on the inside, 70 machine on the outside. Who's it gonna be? iRacing official pace car is in. The 90 machine on the throttle. Green flag is back in the air.
Some heavy wheel spin from the 70 on the outside there. He's going to have to do his best. He does manage to get in front of the 57 of Cohen. That was a critical move to do that. And look at him surge through 1 and 2. Gets right back to the bumper of Ward.
Scott Eckridge right back to the back bumper of Ward. Now looking into the inside for the lead. Going to be side by side down into turn number 3. Power move down to the bottom of the racetrack.
He wasted no time. He turned the NOS on through 1 and 2 there. Evaporated all of that gap. But the 90 able to use that outside and able to pull away by 2 car lengths down the front straightaway.
5 laps to go. Currently Jeff Ward out front. The 70 machine Eckridge fell back just a little ways. Now under fire from the 57 of Nick Cohan back there. Eckridge trying to make up time, though. Now gaining back, right back to the back bumper to the 90 machine. Kind of halfway there.
Oh my God, nearly in the fence there off of 4 he was. Giving
Keeps it clean and green right now.
4 to go.
Mogard now side by side back there with Nick Cohan.
That's a side-by-side battle for third as the 57 nearly in the fence there off of 2, using every last inch of racetrack. Mogard in the 00 to the inside, nearly some contact to the left rear. 57 will not budge an inch.
Oh boy. Close racing back here for the 3rd position. Nick Cohan manages to clear Mogard that side by, heading down into turn number 1 now.
Mogard looks to the outside, is up front. Jeff Ward seems to be driving off there, getting ready for a victory shoutout, but 2 laps to go. He is up by about 0.3 of a second. Still can't afford to make a mistake, but he does have a little bit of a buffer.
Yeah, absolutely. Going to be getting 2 laps to go this time across the line now. Jeff Ward out front. Scott Eckridge trying to trace him down in the 70 machine.
Last time by, the number 90 machine was slower by 1/100th of a second over Eckridge. That's obviously not going to eliminate too many intervals, so he's going to have a pretty comfortable margin as he comes through 3 and 4 for the penultimate time to take the white flag lap. Off of corner number 4 is the number 90. 1 lap to go in the Fred's 200.
Now making their way down into turns 1 and 2. It looks to be Jeff Ward, unless he makes a serious mistake. gonna walk away with the win. We've seen him having pretty much a dominating season this season, picked up a few wins already. Now heading down through turns 3 and 4. Out of turn number 4, the 90 machine, Jeff Ward, gonna win it here in the Friends 200 at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
The number 5 win, 5th win of the season for Jeff Ward in the Premier Cup Series. He is on a roll. He beats out Scott Eckridge, who dominated the race. He will have to settle for second. Jared Bogard, the 00, in the 3rd position here. Great race by the American Sim Racing Series, live on PTRTV on LSRTV. So we're going to step aside just for a minute or two, let these drivers get settled in here, grab them in the booth for some post-race interviews. So stay with us. We'll be right back with you.
When I was 16 years old, I was working in a Goodyear tire store, and my boss actually built an old dirt car, street stock Monte Carlo. Went with him one night, fell in love with it. It was a hell of a race, hell of a party, and a big fight afterwards. I was like, this is it. This is it for me. It wasn't long after that, I was driving an old 78 Camaro out of the weeds at that guy's farm. We pulled that thing out and made a race car out of it, and away we went. You know, I think a driver has more to do with the equation going back and racing dirt, whether it's a modified, a late model. You can do more with the race car. You know, the harder you drive it, a lot of times, the better it goes. You can crawl up on that wheel and feel like you made the difference at the end of the night. Asphalt car, you can't overdrive them. Well, that was the first thing that I had to learn right off the bat is, oh my gosh, I've got to discipline myself, not overdrive this thing, and that's how you get the most out of it. Truth be told, communicating the right information to your crew and your crew chief so they can do their job and make their appropriate adjustments for you to go faster and do your job is probably 90% of the game in our world. I've always loved late models. You know, my dream was to be a late model driver driving for a living across the country like Daryl and Don do that drive for me. I mean, that was, truth be told, that was my dream, you know. I always wanted a semi. I always wanted a stacker trailer with 2 hot rods in it and let's go racing. Let's take off with your buddies and go race and chase that dream. Never in a million years did I think it would turn into a Cup Series, and I actually have an opportunity to own 2 you know, dirt late model teams. When you think of iRacing, you don't think of a video game. It's not. It's way above and beyond any of that. You know, dirt racing changes so much. The track changes so much. Being able to capture that, to, you know, experience all those details that surround dirt racing and make dirt racing what it is what makes iRacing so cool, because they did nail all of that. I knew when they came to our shop and scanned cars and went to the detail of getting that car right, I knew that it was going to be over the top, because it blew my mind just the work that went into making sure the car itself was legit.
And we're back here on PTRTV on LSRTV as the Freds 200 has just completed here. 134 laps, the win going to Jeff Ward. So we're going to wrap up coverage here tonight with the final rundown here from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Victory tonight going to Jeff Ward, leading 26 laps. Scott Eckridge, who led 92, will have to settle for a 2nd place finish. Jared Mogard in 3rd, Nick Cohen in 4th, Michael Krobik in 5th, and rounding out your top 10, Sam Maxwell, Jeremiah Vincent, Tom Gianni, Troy Haight, and Ronnie Osmer. 11th through 20th, John Kennedy, Andy Veltman, Justin Rector in 13th, Ty Hester in 14th, Evan Black in 15th. Mark Emerson with 16th, Nick Curling in 17th, Jason Stewart in 18th, Jared Haggerty and Tim Knott rounding out your top 20. And your remaining results will flash by on the screen.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do have, I know we have a third and first down waiting for interviews right now. So I think Corey just ran down to catch up with Jared Mogard.
All right, Jared, you came home with a third place finish here at Charlotte. You kind of had about a third to a sixth place car, it did seem here tonight. Top two seemed to be out there in their own zip code, but you still had a very good finish. Talk about it, what it was out there, what it was like out there for you here tonight.
Yeah, we were about a fourth or fifth place car there. Some leaders, just like ours, they're gone. It was alright. I don't know, we felt pretty good, felt better as the race went on there. We kind of hoped to just run it to the end, and we got that late yellow and had a good battle with Cohan there at the end, so it was alright, I guess.
Yeah, what was it like out there for handling, man? We saw a lot of drivers getting loose, spinning off at the speedway, not throwing out cautions, but seemed like it was really out of control for many drivers. Did you have that kind of challenge tonight?
Yeah, if you put too much wheel into it and tried pedaling it too hard on the exit there, it got loose, especially if you're on the bottom and swinging out to the wall on exit. It was a little loose, so we kind of moved around. We figured it out there, that long run we had, run the top in 1 and 2 and roll the bottom in 3 and 4 pretty good, so that was working for us. So like I said, it was an alright night.
Yeah, all right, but still a top 3 finish, which is nothing to complain about. So what do you want to give your shout-outs here to tonight?
I just got to give a shout-out to Nick Kaufman and Kaufman Racing Graphics and Twitchy Race Reports for being on the car, and give everybody a shout-out to the league and the fans and you guys for doing broadcast. All
right, 10-4, brother. Congrats on the finish, and we'll be talking to you soon, I'm sure.
Thank you, appreciate it.
And now Brandon Kreutz will talk to, as we don't have second place available, we will go right to the winner. Brandon Kreutz will talk to Jeff Ward.
Yeah, he's out of the race car now. Your winner here tonight from Charlotte Motor Speedway, Jeff Ward. And Jeff, how you feeling?
We're feeling good, Brandon. I feel like we stole one there. The 70 car definitely had us covered on long runs, and if not for that last caution, he was going to get by us and he was going to win the race. So, it's great to get the win, but we need to have a little more speed there to have the 70 as far as speed goes. So, just a little bit of work to do, but I'm happy with this win, man. I barely made the race. My wheel was acting up. We had to start on the tail, and was able to stay out of trouble and methodically, get up through there as the race went. And yeah, this is awesome here.
Yeah, I mean, tell us a little bit about that. Tell us what it was like working your way all the way from the back of the pack up to the front.
It wasn't really too bad. Those guys drove pretty well coming through there. I feel like everybody raced me clean. I hope guys felt like I raced them clean as well. And it's just a good group of guys. And usually, there's a couple incidents here and there, but luckily we was able to sneak by the one that happened in front of us and get through there without any damage.
Yeah, absolutely. And tell us a little bit about your final laps here coming off of that restart. I think you know what you needed to do there on that restart, but just tell us what was going through your head.
Well, on the restart, I got a pretty good jump, but when I got down into one, the thing just, I don't know if I didn't turn enough or had more grip than I thought I was going to have, and Scott really got a good run on me going down the back stretch and had a fender on me going into 3, and I just stayed up high, and if he drove in deep, I was going to try to do some kind of slide job, but he gave me plenty of room there. The thing stuck on the outside and just held it to the floor, and was able to put a little bit of a gap between me and him, and pretty much from there, just pretty much all out, and we was able to hold on to it.
Well, awesome job tonight. Win number 5 on the season for you. Is there anyone that you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, thanks to my team, Loud Pedal Motorsports. I know Brian had a little bit of trouble, and Scott, I mean, he's my teammate, races me clean, and like I said, he had the car to beat, so kind of feel for him, but at the same time, it's good to get one for the team here. Thanks to you guys for doing the broadcast. Thanks to Jim and Tom for running the show there at American Sim Racing, and just thanks to all the soldiers and coming up here for Memorial Day. It's a special day for me, I know, and a lot of people. So this one's pretty special to have the American flag scheme there, and just thanks to friends and family.
Well, awesome job tonight once again, Jeff. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of the Friends 200 from Charlotte Motor Speedway, Jeff Ward.
Thanks, guys.
Yep, so that is the post-race show. Unfortunately, we do not have Scott Eckrich as second place finisher, but we did get to talk to third and first, so we will wrap up coverage tonight with our PTRTV on LSRTV sponsor shoutouts.
Yeah, obviously a huge shout out to our crew here that makes things happen with PTRTV and LSRTV. A huge shout out to LSRTV and everybody over there for giving us this opportunity, and a huge thanks to our crew here on PTRTV, from PR Michael DeGroat, Corey Silva, our producer, Evan Black, one of our other commentators, Cole Borgstad on our crew, Joe Chris behind the scenes here every night. Just an awesome crew here on PTRTV, and once again, LSRTV, everybody over there for giving us this opportunity, and the big merger that is going on between our two channels. Just an amazing opportunity. And also, obviously, we need to thank our channel sponsors. Starting out with Air Movement Fabrications. They're a family-run business formally established in 2012. With over 25 years of experience in the ventilation industry, they offer a wide range of services. This includes ducting, ventilation, extraction, and canopies. If you're in the Nottingham, UK area, Air Movement Fabrications is ventilation service to trust. Also, Croots Custom Graphics, custom racing shirts, hero cards, paint schemes, and much more. From local racers to big race teams, we've got your back. Based out of upstate New York, Croots Custom Graphics is always P1. Also, iBog iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics, custom graphics, coding, and theme design for iRacing's two main overlay systems, ATBO and IRTBO. If you're a broadcast company looking to make your channel shine with custom overlays, talk with Jason Allison with iBog iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics. Also, a special shout out to TrackCams for Gourmet, giving us our PTRTV views here on the broadcast, and you can check him out if you want these cameras for your personal use, trackcams22.com or facebook.com/trackcams.
So that's another broadcast here on PTRTV on LSRTV. We brought you here tonight the American Sim Racing Association, their Twitchy Race Reports ASRS Premier Cup Series. It'll be live on Tuesdays here for the 2018 campaign, alternating out with their Sam Maxwell Customs Truck Series. On PTRTV, you can find us on Thursday night for the Rival Racing Series finale, the College Football Themed Truck Series, our Hardline Racing Midwest Power Source Cup Series on Fridays, of course, on PTRTV. Mondays and Tuesdays, you will find the Integrity Racing League and this exact same series on LSRTV. Of course, you want to catch LSRTV with all their regular content that you have come to know and love on their channel. So, again, signing out of the booth here tonight is Corey Silva and Brandon Kreutz, Joe Chris behind the scenes. Thanks to everyone tuning in to tonight's broadcast, and we'll catch you next time.
Have a great night, everybody, and we'll catch you next time.